Hello everyone, and for those of you who are joining me for this special bonus free training, I thought that I would come to you live and show you what I do with things like research papers and theses to make them really work for my business and to help me identify opportunities that I might not otherwise have come across. So today's live is, as I said, it's a bonus training, and I'm going to be talking specifically on coaching trends and coaching research and how to make it help you and work harder for your practice. But what I do need to say as a caveat is remember that my target audience is coaches and consultants. So in other words, the kind of relevant information that I'm going to be looking at is the numbers and statistics and data around how many people are, what kind of growth there is in the industry, how many new entrants there are into the industry, into the coaching industry specifically. Now, you need to take that same principle and overlay that on your ideal clients. So if you, for example, are targeting HR practitioners in general or HR and learning and development practitioners in a particular sector or industry, you need to go and find some recent research or data and statistics that relate to what is happening in that particular industry. And here in South Africa, Stats SA, which is our national statistics body, releases quarterly updates on the economy and what is happening in different sectors of the economy. So that's a really, really good place for you to start. There's another portal that I belong to, although the application process can be a little bit onerous. It's called ResearchGate. GATE, so that's all one word. And generally speaking, with ResearchGate, anybody anywhere who is doing any kind of research in the world will upload their latest research papers or articles, journal articles that they've had published. And they will either let you have, free access to them, or otherwise you can write to the researcher and ask them to send you the research document, the research thesis, or the article. So the ResearchGate is broad. It's not specific to any industry at all, and it has a wealth of information. It's actually, word of warning, it's a little bit of a rabbit hole, but a wonderful, wonderful resource to have. And so many of us look at research theses and kind of already our eyes glaze over because they can be so dry and boring unless we are vitally interested in what it is that they are saying. And a good friend, when I was doing my postgrad studies last year at the University of Stellenbosch, I got some really, really good advice, which was, don't read through an entire research paper. There's normally always an introduction or an executive introduction or an overview at the beginning that tells you what the research paper is about, what their question was, and what they were looking to find or prove. So you read that, and then you go to the conclusion, and you read the conclusion to see what they found as they were going through the research process. And if there is then a conclusion that is very relevant, that is vital, and that really would serve your business, that's when you go back and sit and read your way through the various parts of the thesis. But don't feel intimidated by these huge big bricks of work that people have put together. You really can get the gist just by going into the intro and into the conclusion, and you can then make your decision whether or not you want to have a look at the more detailed information and analysis that was done. So Before I go any further, if you are joining me for the very first time, and I can see that I do have somebody on, maybe you can wave to me or send me a like or a heart or tell me that you're watching live so that I can see who has joined me. I've got 2 people on now, so do let me know who you are so that I can appreciate you for spending this time with me. So I'm just going to, Janice, lovely to see you. Thank you, my sweetie. I'm waving back. And welcome. And I hope that I'm going to give you some interesting and informative information this morning. But I know that you know me, but for anybody who does happen to watch this video who hasn't met me before, my name is Megan Hudson and I'm a marketing and business coach. I'm going to leave out the tree hugging and dog loving bits for today because we're on to quite a serious topic. And I specialize in helping coaches find and define your niche, and then also to accelerate your marketing and sales in my 12-week accelerator program, which is a one-on-one coached program as well as with learning modules. So I said earlier, my target market is coaches and consultants. So obviously the type of research or those research topics that I'm going to look for, or the statistics topics that I'm going to look for, are going to be things that pertain to those industries. And again, I want to repeat that you need to take that same principle and apply it to whatever industry it is that you really work in, or what sector of the community you particularly work in. And I'm going to use the 2019, it was published at the beginning of, or mid-2020, the ICF Global Coaching Study to demonstrate how I would use a study or research to tell me things about my business and give me some clues to some opportunities that I can then take advantage of. And I'm just going to cherry pick a few items from it because I don't want to keep you here all day. But in the introduction, there's a sentence that says, as the growing number of individuals and organizations have adopted coaching, the use of coaching skills and approaches has expanded beyond professionally trained coach practitioners, so that's people like us, to include managers, leaders, and human resource and talent development professionals who apply these competencies in their daily workplace interactions. Now, for me, with my focus, my thought is, there's this growing pool of people with coaching abilities who potentially, especially with everything that has happened during 2021 and job cuts and retrenchments and so on and so forth, but there's this growing pool of trained coaches out there who actually fall perfectly into my target market. So I might think of expanding the people that I would try and reach through my communications to include managers, leaders, people who may be ready for retirement, who have got coaching skills and are intending to, kind of give back and make a contribution through coaching or mentoring. These are all potential perfect clients for me, and it's just a wonderful opportunity for me to expand my client base. Also during this, in the same study, they extend their thanks to a couple of professional coaching bodies around the world. So they mention the Association for Coaching, the European Mentoring and Coaching Council, the Graduate School Alliance for Executive Coaching, the International Association of Coaching, and the World Business and Executive Coaches Summit, WBEX, which we, I think most of us watch a couple of those webinars on an annual basis, and certainly highlight it in our diary and look forward to it. Again, it's a reminder to me to say, which one of these organizations might I consider becoming a member of, which might it be beneficial for me to become a member of, and to create a profile in, and certainly to create a presence. But definitely I do have an opportunity to start observing what is going on in these particular professional bodies online forums. So like they will have a LinkedIn page or a LinkedIn group, a Facebook page and a Facebook group. And it would be smart of me to start watching the conversations that are taking place in there, because again, it'll give me a wonderful clue as to what kinds of challenges and issues coaches are facing and what is really, really important for them in their day-to-day business. So that's just, again, another little, reminder to not ignore these potential forums where I would be able to participate, to contribute without, charging anybody, certainly. And I do have I do feel a passion for contributing to the industry. But then also to use these forums to give me the kind of information that I need to continue to remain relevant and cutting edge. And similarly, you can do the same thing, finding the right kind of professional bodies and forums that your ideal clients belong to. So for people who are in human resources or learning and talent development, we've got the South African Board of People Practitioners or Practices, which would be a wonderful one. In the UK, there's the CIPD, which is something professional development. I can't remember what it stands for, but that would be a fairly similar body to our own South African Board of People Practices. Now, carrying on with the survey, it tells me that they had 46% more returns this year, more survey returns this year than when they ran it. Excuse the aeroplane going overhead. Than when they ran it in 2016, and it represents so that's a 46%, almost a 50% validated growth in the coaching industry. So that's good news for me, because that means that my target market is growing. It's really, really wonderful. And then it breaks it down into the fact that the number of responses from Latin America and the Caribbean almost doubled. So that tells me that I also need to make sure that when I am sending out my communication, that I target those areas. And in particular, once you get onto running things like Facebook ads, LinkedIn ads, and so on, you can target them via areas. So I might previously have ignored Latin America and the Caribbean. Now this might make me reconsider that. So Latin America, the Caribbean have almost doubled. Asia, an increase of 88%. So again, that tells me that I really, really do need to factor these into my communication style, and perhaps what I talk about. Just another interesting piece of information which conflicts with, it depends, they say there are lies, damn lies, and then there are statistics. Well, I think we can all agree that we can take any statistic and make it kind of work for us if we want to. But so officially, the International Coach Federation puts the number of coaches at approximately 71,000 practitioners. Again, an increase of 33% on 2016 when they did their previous study. So the good, again, consolidating the fact that the growth of professional coaches in particular, and coaches specifically that are affiliated with professional bodies, because they've taken this number from the published membership numbers of the different professional bodies. So it means that professional and professionally affiliated coaches are growing. So again, it's just an easy pool for me to fish in, to go straight to the professional bodies. And and there's 71,000 potential clients waiting for me. I mean, that's far too many for me to even think of, getting to work with. So, wonderful news. It tells me immediately that there is so much business out there for me, that if I position myself correctly and in front of the right people, there's no ways I'm going to go begging. And this, you need to do the same. Look at the statistics in the industry that you are targeting, and do a similar kind of calculation. The other thing that is interesting is that the majority of coaches are what we call fit into the millennial generation. So that's Generation X, which is people who were born between 1965 and 1981. So they're people just like me, and that means that I can talk to my potential ideal audience in a very natural and in a very natural way, in a way that they will relate to. And I can also probably talk about stuff that they will know about. Whereas if I was talking to somebody from Generation Z, or is it now Generation Y, I might find that, I would struggle to be relatable and to come up with appropriate kind of language and terminology, because they have had quite a different life and upbringing compared to what my Generation X's like me have had. Just again, I'm really just going through this document and cherry picking stuff. Hello Yvette, good to see you, and thank you for joining me. So the other statistic that the ICF study shows is that, and we all know this, the coaching industry is dominated by women. But I was really fascinated to come across, and I don't have it highlighted, but the ICF is starting to talk about what they call business specialities. And it's really their kind of speak for niche, which is my area of absolute passion and the area that I absolutely love. And there was a figure that said that those coaches who have identified their business specialities, 40% of them report, I think I found it now, 40% of them report that they sign up for coaching engagements that last for 7 months and longer. And we know that a 7-month or longer, even a 6-month coaching intervention is quite a lengthy coaching intervention. And actually it's quite nice to think that you have that kind of for that business for that length of time. So there's definitely, the figures definitely show by specializing what you offer, by getting clear on your messaging, by defining your niche, by having a business speciality, you are better placed to sign up for longer coaching interventions. So I'm not going to go that I'm almost at the end of the executive report, and I'm not going to carry on with it exhaustively to the end. But I do hope that what I have managed to demonstrate this morning is that you can use statistics and data in your chosen industry or field to help to give you clues and to act as reminders for things that you might not otherwise have thought of, to help to stimulate your creative thinking, and also to make sure that when you are communicating, you're communicating appropriately to the right people and in the most appropriate way. So there we go. That's all I have for you this morning. Watch out. Don't forget to join me on Thursday, because I am going to be unpacking something really exciting. This gets my rocks off in a big way, and I cannot wait to share it with you. If you join me, I'm quite sure that you are going to find something that will completely shift your business onto a new level. So I look forward to seeing you on Thursday morning, same time, 9 o'clock. Thank you so much once again for joining me and spending this time with me, and enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Happy days, everyone. Bye-bye.